Hey friends, this is Dolany TV. Good afternoon, good morning, wherever you're tuning in from. Glad to have you aboard today as we get set up to get to Hockey Night in Canada against the Toronto Maple Leafs. Tonight, the Edmonton Oilers looking for a couple of things, a win in particular, and possibly, well, goal number 50 of the season for Zach Hyman. And would that not be the ultimate karma for the Toronto Maple Leafs to watch Zach Hyman score his, 50th of a season against them on their home ice? My goodness, that would be absolutely fantastic to watch, friends. And with that, that is where we will turn over to the lines here in a brief moment to check out how that's going to be achieved for Zach Hyman and the Edmonton Oilers tonight. If you know anything about the Oilers, you know anything about the NHL. Tonight's too much of a storybook not to happen. That said, no guarantees ever. So the Oilers' projected lineup versus Toronto: Draisaitl, McDavid, Hyman, Foegele, RNH, McLeod, Kane, Henrique, Perry, Janmark, Carrick, and Brown. Brown, who's riding a little bit of a heater the past week, scoring, 10 days, scoring 2 goals in 10 days compared to Ekholm, Bouchard, Nurse, Desharnais, Kulak, and Ceci back together as the 6th defenseman for our Edmonton Oilers squad. Friends, if you're just new to the channel as well, I might make mention to consider hitting that subscribe button here on Dolany TV to come back for the live stream tonight. Let me tell you, it's going to be a good one, and I believe I've got it in me to go the whole way tonight. So let's go back to this lineup for a brief moment. When we're talking about Zach Hyman and how the Oilers are going to achieve said such thing, they're going to load up Draisaitl, McDavid, and Hyman together and just bite the bullet for a game and try and do the big thing tonight, and that is score Zach Hyman his 50th of the season. It would be nice to see a guy like Hyman get rewarded for what has been an amazing tenure in Edmonton. Everybody's talking about it being the best free agent signing in the past 10, 15 years all of a sudden now at this point of the weekend. So when it comes down to it for the Oilers, you'd love to see Zach Hyman score 50, and the all too sweet additive to that whole mess is the fact that it could potentially come against the Toronto Maple Leafs. So you look at this here as well. If you're unfamiliar with why this matters so much, Zach Hyman is a former Maple Leaf, signed with Edmonton outside of the free agent period there, and basically went from Toronto to Edmonton, and everybody in Toronto said the guy's not going to be able to do anything. Well, best contract in the NHL right now. As we look at it here, Stuart Skinner gets to start. That's what I was trying to cue the graphic for. Skinner will start for the Oilers this evening and obviously look to improve on his record yet some more. Stuart Skinner has had an absolutely incredible year thus far in terms of coming back from a very tough start, in terms of really transforming into that goaltender you can rely on to win games in bunches, I guess you could say, right? The Oilers are 9-1-2 in their last 12 games at current. You know, look at this here for Stewie: 31 wins, 13 losses, 4 OT losses, 256 goals against average, and a 908 save percentage. You compare that against a guy who only has 6 regulation losses and 18 victories, 7 extra point losses. Ilya Samsonov facing him in net tonight: 312 goals against average, 888 save percentage. And the Oilers and Leafs kind of in this weird transitionary period, I guess, for both clubs, trying to clamp down goals against and also try to really ramp up getting into playoff shape. While the Oilers right now with 2.8 goals against and the Leafs with 3.1. That's pretty solid if you're the Edmonton Oilers coming into a night where the Leafs average 3.62 goals per game, which is just slightly 0.04 above where the Edmonton Oilers are. Currently coming into tonight's game, if the Oilers can keep Matthews off the board and Zach Hyman scores 2 goals, by the end of the night, Hyman could be, 7 goals back of Austin Matthews for the league lead. So stay tuned, friends. We are in for an absolute dandy of a matchup tonight on Hockey Night in Canada. I'm Tyson, this Dolany TV. Thank you so much for being aboard here this afternoon, this morning, whenever you do get a chance to tune in. I am up on, over here.